For generations, this was the place where curiosity lived, where you could build dreams with just a few wires, some batteries, and a spark of an idea. But somewhere between innovation and nostalgia, the world, well, it just moved on and left them behind. This is the story of the tech store that literally sold the future and then got trapped in its own past. And that right there, that single sentence captures the entire epic tragedy, doesn't it? For decades, they were the bridge to the future. But what happens when the future learns to build its own bridges and you're left stranded on the wrong side of history? Yeah, before those slick, minimalist temples of tech we all know today. And way before one-click ordering could bring any gadget you could ever imagine right to your front door, before tech lived in your pocket, there was really only one place you could go to see it, to touch it, and to actually understand it. It wasn't just another store, it was, an institution. So let's go back, way back. It all started in 1921 over in Boston, Massachusetts, when two brothers, Theodore and Milton Deutschman, they opened the small, kind of niche shop for a brand new kind of enthusiast. And just think about that name for a second, RadioShack. It doesn't sound sleek or futuristic, does it? No, it sounds gritty. It sounds hands-on. It was a promise that you could get your hands dirty with the actual guts of technology. And this, right here, was their early genius. I mean, before the internet, this was where you went to learn what the future felt like. It wasn't just about walkie-talkies and stereos. It was a store that sold the spark of an idea. And oh, did they build on that idea. By the time the 1970s rolled around, that little shop had absolutely exploded into America's tech playground. It wasn't just for hobbyists anymore. No, this was for everyone. RadioShack had become a true cultural phenomenon. Just get a load of that number. Over 3,000 stores. They were ubiquitous. I mean, they were in every small town, in every suburban mall. You went there for batteries for your new toys. You went there to build your very first stereo. It was more than a store. It was literally woven into the fabric of American life. And this was their crowning achievement, the TRS-80. At a time when computers were these giant, mysterious machines locked away in universities, RadioShack put one in your home. They weren't just selling components anymore. They were selling the complete future in a box. For a moment, they were the future. But the future, as we all know, doesn't wait around. And here's where the story takes a turn. The 1980s brought chaos, competition. The very world that RadioShack helped create was suddenly evolving faster than it could possibly keep up. And these weren't just competitors. These were forces of nature. Each one represented a fundamental shift in how we think about and interact with technology. You had Apple focusing on user experience, Microsoft owning software, and the internet? Well, the internet was about to change absolutely everything. And this comparison, it tells the whole story, doesn't it? While the future was getting streamlined and sleek, RadioShack just stayed cluttered. While the world moved to software and e-commerce, they were still, at their heart, a hardware store from another time. And here's the real kicker. This is the core of their strategic failure. Being everywhere meant they were focused on nowhere. Their cluttered, unfocused model just couldn't compete with the laser-sharp vision of these new giants. The final act of this story, it's a somber one. The new millennium brought a storm that would completely reshape retail, and RadioShack was caught right in its path, completely frozen in time. You could just see it coming, step by painful step. Amazon was bringing endless choice right to your doorstep. Apple was creating these beautiful temples for tech. And RadioShack, it just stayed the same, a relic. 2. That's how many times the company filed for bankruptcy. The giant had fallen, not once, but twice. Thousands of stores just vanished. Generations of memories erased. And in a final, absolutely surreal twist, this is what became of the brand. After being bought out of bankruptcy, the name was resurrected online as a completely unhinged crypto meme account. Seriously. The company that introduced the PC to America was now just tweeting chaotic jokes about NFTs and Dogecoin, from a symbol of innovation to a literal punchline of the digital age. But RadioShack's story is so much more than just nostalgia. It's a mirror. It holds this powerful, timeless lesson for any business, any industry, frankly, for anyone who thinks they've already made it. This is the true tragedy here. Their fall wasn't just about business. It was a total failure of imagination. They were so busy selling the parts of the future that they completely forgot to build a future for themselves. And here it is, the ultimate lesson. The world doesn't care what you built yesterday. It only cares what you're building next. Radio Shack's true failure wasn't a lack of products. It was a fear of letting go of its own past. And that leaves us with this one final thought. The story of Radio Shack isn't just history. It's a warning, a reminder that no empire is forever, and the future, well, it doesn't wait for anyone, not even the ones who helped build it.